Okay.
Check, check, check 1, 2.
Check, check. Check 1, 2.
What's going on, everybody? Here we are, another episode of Make the Right Play. As always, we got the coach on my left here. We got Yabui making everything work for us, making everything happen behind the camera. And first things first, I want to just say something really quickly. I have not been a good co-host to my mom here. I have not done a great job at taking the show seriously and doing the homework that I need to be doing in order to make this the great show that it is. I have not done enough where I haven't been doing my part. And I want to apologize to you, to Yabui. I want to apologize to the fans and to the people who watch this show. all 20 of you. But no, I'm being serious. I want to apologize. It's I have not been doing the part that I should be doing, and man, I just want to make sure I apologize, because that's it's my mom and the coach, as you guys see and you watch every week. She does a lot of work to make this show great, and last night we were trying to plan the show. I wasn't taking it serious. I wanted to watch the Devil game, and I wasn't focused. I wasn't locked in. And coach, I apologize. And Yabui, I apologize. Fans, I apologize. And I'm sorry. And I want everybody in this room, especially in the people who watch, I want you to know that I am committed to the show, and I want the show to have success.
Well,
so I apologize.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I thought that was how we needed to start the show in order to prevent the fires that will come later on. I just wanted to start that off. And then we're going to go right into the craziness of what just happened with Chuck Schumer on the Congress floor. But
hold on. I have to say something too.
Okay, go right ahead.
Well, I have an apology because last week I was triggered after the address to Congress from President Trump, because it really upset me that the Democrat members of Congress didn't clap for DJ, the 13-year-old cancer warrior who was made an honorary Secret Service agent. So I use foul language a lot in the show. And I got a message from a Democrat that said, "What about the Democrats who voted for Donald Trump?" And what I got out of that message was that I feel like I hurt some Democrats' feelings. So I understand that feeling, because I don't like it when people try to label Republicans, or nowadays MAGA people. And I wanted to talk about how not all Democrats are lost or canceled. So I would like to play that one video of the Democrat, video one, who is expressing that, she's not, well, let's just watch video one, please.
All right, let's go clip one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell you how refreshing it was to wake up this morning and hear from other Democrats and see on my post other Democrats who are just as furious and ready to friggin' jump ship as I am. I'm not buying into what they're selling, because after what we saw yesterday, I'm actually glad that they pulled that yesterday, because people like me who have been disillusioned by the Democratic Party for a long time got to see an evilness there, got to see a diabolical side of the Democratic Party who's basically saying, we want you to fail. We don't care if you fail. It's like the scene in The Wizard of Oz when they finally go back to see the great Oz and they pull the curtain back, and it's just a little old man just standing there like that doesn't have a fucking clue.
Well, I just want to acknowledge that I do need to work on being a better person, especially when it comes to my mouth, because I am a native New Yorker and we are a breed of our own. That's why I understand Trump and when not to take him literally a lot of times, but a lot of people do take him literally. So that's why, like, for me, I don't take it so serious. But my mother was a single mother, and one of her missions in life was to make her daughters tough and not be sissy girls. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, I remember her yelling at me about how soft I spoke, and that if I was going to be taken seriously by men, I had to talk like one. That's what she told me. You know, soft and feminine behavior was frowned upon, coming from a single Puerto Rican mother who worked on Wall Street. And I listened to her. And she often bragged about being the only woman in the room filled with men. And, you know, she would diss their wives half the time. I mean, that's another story. But my mom really worked hard on trying to make sure that my sister and I grew up to be tough girls. And sometimes I do talk like a truck driver. So anyway, I just wanted to apologize for my language last week because it did bother me. And it did make me think about the scripture from Isaiah. And I'm just going to talk about it because it's during Lent, and then we'll go back to talking about politics. But the seraphim cried out to each other, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. All the earth is filled with his glory." At the sound of that cry, the frame of the door shook and the house was filled with smoke. Then I said, "Woe is me, I'm doomed." And that's how I feel a lot of times. "For I am a man of unclean lips, living among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the King of the Lord of hosts." Then one of the seraphim flew to me, holding an ember which he had taken with tongs from the altar. He touched my mouth with it. "See," he said, "now this has touched your lips. Your wickedness is removed, your sin is purged." Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us?" "Here I am," I said, "send me." And that's how I feel, because I want to bridge a gap with other Americans. And when I do the show, it isn't just, you know, because I feel like I'm right all the time and you're wrong. I just feel like we need to be putting Americans first. And I love my Democrat friends. I had a lot of good friends who were Democrats, and I love them. And I have family members who were Democrats. And I just want you to know that we need to come together as one nation under God. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So when I say I want to make America great again, I think about a nation that turns their hearts and minds towards God first. A nation that loves their brothers and sisters, a melting pot that if you're different, it's okay because love is the greatest of all and we all love our fellow Americans, all right? So if I hurt any Democrats' feelings, I just want to let you know that I'm really sorry. And I think it's important that we're good to our fellow Americans. And, you know, we just want to be on the side of love. So that's all I wanted to say. So I guess in this season of reconciliation during Lent, this is something we have to talk about. So, all right.
I thought that was very well written, very well said.
Oh, well,
I
thank
thought
you.
that was good. I mean, you know, and you are right. And I personally, I have Democrat friends. You have Democrat friends. We all have Democrat friends. We all have friends on each side of the aisle. And it is important that, you know, we want to come together as a country, right? That we're not trying to be divisive and have this divide amongst us. And I really don't think Trump is either. Trump wants all Americans to succeed, right? And that's what we want. We want all Americans to succeed. And one of the most important things about this show is that we try to show you what the media won't tell you. We're trying to show you what's actually going on and what the big picture is, because we want you guys to see what is actually happening and what's not just fed to you, the lies and the propaganda that's fed to you and fed to everybody in this country. And, you know, you're 100% right, Ma. I mean, you know, we're really not trying to have a divided group. We don't want to be divided. Divided, you cannot stand, right? A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. So we don't want that divisiveness, right? And I encourage everybody who watches the show, don't be divisive. Show people, hey, listen, this is what's actually going on. They're not telling you the whole story, right? That's the whole point. That's why we do it. And that's why you work so hard on these scripts and finding things that people won't actually see on the mainstream media. And it's important. So great. I mean, great job.
Well,
great job, Coach.
Thank you very much. And we can get started with how the Democrats are being divisive with Chuck Schumer not even passing his own budget today,
That's
right? The continuing resolution.
Breaking
Biden's
news.
budget.
Breaking news. Breaking news. You heard it here first on Make the Right Play. Chuck Schumer on the Senate floor today saying, you know what? We're not going to pass that budget that completed the House. We're going to tell you to go screw it. We'll throw it over to that clip. Clip 36.
Sorry.
The Democratic leader.
Funding the government should be a bipartisan effort, but Republicans chose a partisan path, drafting their continuing resolution without any input from congressional Democrats. Because of that, Republicans do not have the votes in the Senate to invoke cloture on the House CR. Our caucus is unified on a clean April 11th CR that will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass. We should.
The Democrats own the shutdown now.
That's right. They said, screw you. We're just going to shut it down. I mean, it's Biden, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's Biden's budget.
It's Biden's budget.
It's
so
Biden's
he's so
budget.
full of crap. And that it's so funny because like Tom, I think it's Massey, his last name. He was had a big fight with Trump because he's like, I don't want to pass this budget. There's too much spending in it. This is Biden's budget. And Trump is like, listen, we got to keep the government open. Let's keep it running. And by September, in the meantime, let's work towards a budget and then
Right.
we'll fix it. And the Democrats were going on, bad-mouthing every Republican, saying if they shut down the government, they're garbage. They have to keep the government open. And then look what happened. They're the ones, because the Republicans in the House stepped up and just, bit the bullet, passed this budget.
Yep.
And now they're the ones who are like, you know what? We're not going to put it through the Senate. Screw you.
Yeah.
The Senate, they're complete obstructionists.
They 100% are. But again, I mean, I can't. They seriously cannot help themselves. Another example of the Democrats exposing that they're not really for you. They're not really for the American people. And here's yet another example of Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrats right now, because Nancy Pelosi's stepped down. She's gone. So Chuck Schumer has effectively, him and Pocahontas are the leaders of the Democrats. And he, right to everybody's face, we're not going to pass this budget. It's your budget. You wrote it. It's Biden's budget. And we said, fine, we'll play ball with you. Let's keep the government open. Let's pass your budget. And you still can't get it done because honestly, when it comes down to it, it's the Republicans taking the knee, saying, fine, we'll pass the budget. Let's keep the country open. Let's keep people working. And the Democrats are like, what?
They were mad.
What?
They're mad because they're not used to Republicans being united.
Right. Exactly.
And, that's the problem, is that the Republicans are really working so hard to try to make America great again. And I know people call you MAGA, but it's really about uniting the country because that's what will make America great, is a country united.
Correct.
And I have to say, their strategy right now is just to keep us all divided. And they're in peril.
Yeah.
And that's why we talked about it, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, about how Bernie had to go to his old playbook about the whole class warfare strategy with the millionaires and the billionaires and his oligarchs.
Yes.
And so I came across a song from one of the performers at Bernie's rally.
Oh
and
my
you
gosh.
you have to see this because it's so disgusting. Video 2, please, you buoy.
This was disgusting. Video 2, disgusting Democrat singer.
I have a big fat dick, 'cause it feels like he's fucking me. Are his balls filled with lightning? Do they tingle like heaven's keys? Does your God have a big fat dick? 'Cause it feels like he's fucking me.
I honestly, I don't know what
That
to say to
tranny
that.
needs to be saved.
I
I'm
don't know what to say
sorry,
to
but
that.
that tranny needs to be saved, honey. That person is going straight to hell.
I mean, I really don't.
It's
I don't have
disgusting.
any words to that. I mean, for you to get on stage and saying, "Does God have a big fat dick because he's fucking me?" is absolutely
That's a broken
insane.
person. That's a person who doesn't understand the message from Jesus where love is the greatest of it all.
Yeah.
That's a person who has hate. And remember how we talked about how the demonic National Convention
Yep.
was just hate and the Democratic Party's full of hate. Well, I think with a song like that, it kind of proves it. Remember Kamala, when the people brought up God and she said, "Oh, you're at the wrong rally. You belong at the other rally."
Yeah.
Remember that? These people do not love God. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
What's going to unite us together is a love of Jesus Christ and God. I mean, we'll welcome other religions, but you have to have morals and you have to love Christ. I'm sorry. So
That's true. That's
what does
100%
Bernie
true.
do? Does Bernie get upset?
Right.
No.
No.
Let's show video 3. This is how Bernie reacts to it.
Let's show video 3. Bernie thanking.
Thank the University of Wisconsin Parkside for the venue. Let me thank Kinsella and Pulse LLC for the music. Laura Jane Grace for the music.
Laura Jane Grace
That's
Lori
the truth.
Ellen
Music.
Randy and Congressman Mark Buchan for their great remarks.
for their great remarks. I mean, it's really just they're just such a disgusting group of people. It's really the truth.
There is clearly God's side and the other side in this
saying it for
country.
weeks.
I'm sorry, it's good versus evil. When you're going to a rally and somebody's being blasphemous at the rally like that, you need to have a little reflection and think about that Democrat woman who was on earlier in the show saying, listen, it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that other Democrats are waking up. You guys have to start being responsible for your own party and stop being so so brain dead. That's why you were too stupid to get up and clap when DJ was appointed an honorary Secret Service agent,
Right.
because you were all told, don't clap for anything. And
Yeah.
rather than letting your spirit guide you, having your spirit be like, I don't care if I don't like somebody, but if they bring a 13-year-old cancer patient over and be like, hey, Leesan, and I don't like this person. Hey, Leesan, this is DJ. He has cancer. I want you to meet him. Oh, DJ, hi, how are you? And I would be kind to that person, no matter who's doing the introduction.
Yeah.
But these people are so filled with hate that they just don't get it. And that's what's ruining our country right now.
Well, and I think it goes to what we said last week is that they're not independent thinkers. They all are fed the same lines and the same thoughts that they are incapable of having an individual thought. I really feel that the Democrats of today are incapable of making that difference. Like finding that, like, oh, I know I'm against Trump, but let me clap for the kid with cancer. Like they're not able to separate the two. They are just all locked in, same mindset, same thoughts, same everything. That they're just too, they're like clones.
But they're like told what to think.
Yes,
and I'm
100%.
sure their orders were, do not clap for one thing.
For one thing.
Except for Ukraine getting more money. If it's about war, then you can clap for that.
Yes, if we could keep the war going, that it seemed to have no end. Yes, we'll clap for that.
And
absolutely.
and now it's coming out with that whole USAID, how they were funding all the riots and stuff like that. So 6 weeks into the second Trump administration, and days after President Trump vowed to push back on illegal protests on college campuses,
Oh, boy.
the State Department has pulled the first visa of a foreign student disruptor, Mahmoud Khalil.
Mahad Khalil.
I don't know how to
Mahad
pronounce
Khalil.
these names.
Yeah.
Mahmoud Khalil, immigration.
We're gonna go with that. That sounds about right. We'll trust that one.
Immigration Customs Enforcement arrested Khalil, a permanent resident, a green card holder,
Yep.
who engaged in pro-Hamas college chaos. Let's show a video of one of the riots.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's show some.
Video
what's
3? Is
what's
that
kind
it?
of going on
Or
over
4?
there?
Video 4?
It is. Who's getting a call right now? Is somebody?
I don't
somebody's
know.
phone ringing?
Oh.
It's your boozer. I was like, what's going on right now? Yeah, it
I think
is.
it's video 4, right?
It was supposed to be video 4. This is one of my mess ups here. But we do have lots of it. Let's go to clip 16 of just to show what's going on in New York City right now.
Well, that is at Gracie Mansion.
That's a crazy mansion, yeah.
That's on the Upper East Side. That's 88th Street and East End Avenue. I used to live on 88th and 1st.
That's illegal. Stop that. Cut that shit out. Whoa.
They create a barrier and they're stopping them. That's illegal. That's illegal.
You're out of here. That's illegal. Get off of him. Get off of him. That is illegal.
And listen, I was in the Upper East Side this summer. It's like the new Lower East Side. There is a large Jewish community on the Upper East Side now.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be really intimidating to have a bunch of people running around with Palestinian flags and not respecting the barriers of police. Like, it has to be nerve-wracking.
I mean, I remember when we went up there to see you in the show, and we were walking down First Avenue, and there was a whole restaurant, like just a bunch of Israel flags and
You know
things
what that
showing
restaurant
out. Like
is?
it was, yeah.
Like I said, the Upper East Side is now the new Lower East Side. That
Yep.
was the Second Avenue Deli. The
Yeah.
Second Avenue Deli is a famous Jewish deli from the Lower East Side, but it moved to the Upper East Side.
Right.
So, I mean, I just feel like if we want to stop the riots on these campuses, this is the right thing to do, because this guy, Khalil, he organized and harassed students based on their religion.
Yeah.
And that's a hate crime. I'm
100%.
sorry. You know, and
100%.
Columbia University has to be a safe haven for their students. They can't pay all that money and then be worried about Hamas supporters intimidating them.
Yeah.
Why don't you show some of the flyers that they were handing out on campus?
Yeah, let's show it. Let's go. It's clip 5A. Let's start with clip 5A. So this is one of the flyers that they had.
Imagine.
Yep. Clip 5B. Look at that. Crush Zionism.
Zionism.
Sorry. We're all messing up names here today. Clip 5C. Look at that. Oh boy.
Burning the Israeli flag. I
Burning
mean,
the
listen,
Israeli
that
flag.
is intimidating to Jewish students.
Yeah, 100%. That, I mean, and you know what the best part is, right? Is you have a lot of Democrats who are protesting and writing to support this kid.
Mm-hmm.
But correct me if I'm wrong. It was the Democrat Party and the white liberal that really pushed for this hate crime and
Yes,
for the hate crime laws
yes,
and things
yes.
like that. And
Yeah.
this, by definition,
Is a hate crime.
that they created, is pure hate crime. Like to the purest form. Actually,
I mean, if we had the other video, it would show how the Palestinian
my
students
bad.
barricaded the students getting out and like pulling the Jewish
Right.
students and like really beating them up and
They were
stuff
doing
and
that.
intimidating them. Even at
Yeah.
Cooper Union. Like it's terrible what they were doing.
they were doing that back in October and November. They were doing that as well when the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They
And
were
look,
doing it all over the place.
Let's be honest, okay? You have to understand that this guy has a green card. He's not an American citizen.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
if he's not an American citizen and he has a green card, and what he's doing while he's in this country is organizing a terrorist group to terrorize people on campus and in the streets of New York City, guess what? You get your green card revoked.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the Axis of
100%.
Evil of Congress had to put together a letter because they were like, you know what, we're all going to sign a letter and say this is wrong. Because what did he do rather than just, say things, freedom of speech? Now all of a sudden they're into freedom of speech, right? Let's show a copy of the letter from Congress.
Oh boy.
Oh, I
Copy
guess.
the letter.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Anyway,
Show
you have
copy
over
the letter.
400 people in the House of Representatives. And you know how many people signed this letter? 14. All
Yeah.
right. Do you think you're on the wrong side?
Yeah, 100%. They're on the wrong side. But I mean, it goes to show a little bit of what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. At the top of the show, we talked about how some of the Democrats are beginning to wake up. They're starting to
Hopefully.
see that, not everything that they. But of course, again, who's the number one supporter of the Palestinian people? Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer. Trump had a great quote about Chuck Schumer calling him a Palestinian today. We could show that clip. Let's go clip 36 or 35. Excuse me, clip 35.
The Democrats have to get their act together. And if they don't vote, then what you're going to do is you're going to have taxes that are going to go through the roof. You're going to have a very bad time. You're going to have some very bad things happen. And people are going to blame the Democrats. And Schumer is a Palestinian, as far as I'm concerned. He's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. Okay.
Trump calls the balls and strikes. When you're on the
does.
Palestinian side and you're not protecting the
Yeah.
Jewish community, I'm sorry. There's something wrong with that.
100%. I mean,
then,
go ahead.
Carlos, why are the Democrats working so hard to keep this guy here?
Yeah.
Let's show the video from CNN. Do we have that video? The one with the famous guy Scott on CNN.
The one that you sent me this afternoon?
Well, I sent it yesterday too.
No. Let's see. We have a
When
couple
he
of his
talks
CNN
about
videos.
how this guy Khalil wants the total eradication of Western civilization.
No, we don't have that one.
Okay, so he
don't
wants
have
the
that one.
total eradication of Western civilization. Why do you want to live in the United States then? We're a Western culture. If you want to eradicate Western civilization, why do you want to live in the United States? And then
Yeah.
his wife came out today and she goes, I demand his immediate release and return to our family. My husband was kidnapped. Really? Kidnapped? You have some nerve. Think about
Yeah.
all those people who were kidnapped on October 7th.
Yeah, in
and were
Israel.
held
Really
hostage in
kidnapped.
Palestine for such a long
Yep.
time.
Yep.
And she cried me a river, lady.
100%.
He's actually in a prison cell and they're going to deport his ass.
Yeah.
And you know what? It needs to happen. Go
Yep.
reunite with your husband in another country. You don't
Mm-hmm.
like Western civilization? Go and reunite with him back in Syria, where he's from.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Good riddance. I'm sorry. We don't need any more enemies within.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And it is a threat to national security having people like
Totally.
that are like, we need to eradicate the Western civilization. We need to eradicate the Jews. I mean, it's really like, this is something that you cannot have, especially what's so crazy is the Democrats always, supporting movements like, Black Lives Matter, how we need to support, the Black community. We need to support the LGBTQ community. And it's like, but the Jewish community can go pound sand. It's like, we're going to leave that Jewish community high and dry and say, screw you. Like that's what they're saying.
Are Americans too.
Yeah.
So we have religious freedom in this country. You know how they
Right.
talk about freedom of speech? Well, we also have religious freedom.
Yep.
So to have people being bullied for their religious beliefs,
Yep.
that is a hate crime.
By purest form.
Okay? That is
Purest
the definition of a hate crime.
Yep.
So if you're going to persecute people and bully them on college campuses because of their religious beliefs, you are not welcomed in the United States of America, because
100%.
you have to be able to allow somebody to have their religious beliefs, okay?
Yeah. No, I mean, you're 100% right. And that's what it really comes down to is you have freedom of religion in this country, right? That's a constitutional right. You have freedom of religion. And these people, they do not want you to continue to have that freedom. And it's just, it's really disgusting. Like when it comes down to it's really disgusting. That's happening in one of the greatest cities of the world, in the United States of America. You have something like that going on. It's really just unbelievable.
Well, I mean, they passed, like you said, they passed all these hate crimes to try to avoid it.
Yep.
But we actually imported it in. So
Yeah.
Trump wants
Brought
to
it right
deport
in.
it back out.
100%.
Well, I have to say, on a good note, the Americans must be happy with the economic news today, right? I mean, the egg prices are down. Inflation has gone down.
Everybody was shocked about the inflation going down.
I know.
Everybody's like, what? It's
they-
2.8%. What? Like
Yeah.
they were shocked. They couldn't believe it.
Well, Trump has only been in office a couple of months, and even the egg prices went down because, Biden killed all the eggs before he left
We
office.
killed all the chickens. Yeah.
Killed all-
You need the chicken
you
to
know,
make the egg, right?
like-
What came first?
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Like you need the chicken to make the egg. No, but it's true. And people, complaining about the tariffs and complaining about, what we're doing. And I really don't think people fully understand the point of the tariff and what the tariff actually is. So let's go to this clip right here. I want to start with clip 33, please, because that's what's going to go over this the start here.
The essence is there. You have come out strongly in favor of his tariffs. Can you explain why?
We're in a crisis mode in this country. There is no single issue in this country that has affected our economy and working class people and their jobs than NAFTA, the USMCA, and our trade laws, our broken trade system. And we're in a crisis mode. And, we are triaging right now. So I hear this debate about, blanket tariffs and all this stuff. But look, we're in a triage situation. Tariffs are an attempt to stop the bleeding from the hemorrhaging of jobs in America for the last 33 years. So, and as we speak right now, I mean, decisions are still being made. Warren Truck Plant right here in Michigan. There's over 2,000 people laid off. And a simple decision, Stellantis is shifting truck production to Mexico. They could change overnight and move those trucks right back here to Warren, Michigan, and put people back to work. You have Deere workers in Racine, Wisconsin. We have Mack truck workers in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where the companies saying are going to move their jobs to Mexico. So tariffs aren't the end solution, but they are a huge factor in creating and fixing this problem. And
Right. Tariffs are a Band-Aid, right? And we talked about it at the beginning, right? One of the big reasons for the tariffs was that you had to force the Canadians and the Mexicans to do something.
Well, about the fentanyl,
Yeah,
too.
about the fentanyl and
Yeah.
about the drugs flowing into this country. You needed to get them off their asses and get into the game. And one of the big things about the tariffs that I don't think people are talking about enough is the fact that the tariff is going to force Americans to decide we're going to go with American companies. We're going to create American jobs by forcing these companies. They're going to need to hire more workers. They're going to, produce more product because they're going to want to make their products in the United States so they don't have to pay the tariff.
Well, Carlos,
it's a job creator.
You know what happened? The rich got so greedy.
Yes.
Because I remember when there used to be manufacturing jobs here in the United States, and you could get a good job, have a good living wage, have a pension. And what happened is that we shipped so many jobs overseas so that the rich could continue to just get richer.
100%.
And that's why I get so annoyed when people are like, we need the immigrants because they're the ones who are going to do the job nobody wants. Excuse me. It's because the rich people want to pay them slave labor.
Yeah.
If they paid them a decent living wage, you would be able to hire Americans to do those jobs.
Right.
But the greed is out of control in this country.
It's filthy greed.
It
It's
is.
filthy greed.
And, the one good news that I have to say is that Apple is going to start manufacturing here. Hyundai is going to start manufacturing here. So we need, right? Isn't Hyundai
It's
coming?
Honda.
Honda? Oh,
Yeah,
Honda.
You're
sorry.
thinking of a Hyundai.
Hyundai,
That's
sorry.
what you're thinking about. But it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time that they come. But no, you're 100% right. And that, guys, that's the point, right? One of the point is we need to bring these jobs back to the Americans.
Yes.
Let me ask you. I mean, nothing is more frustrating than when you're trying to call customer service and you're getting outsourced to a guy in India picking up the phone, and it's English as a second language. No offense to the Indians, but I mean, for Christ's sake, you need somebody that's going to talk to Americans, to the point where you have companies advertising like, oh, well, our customer service is Americans. You should come work with us. Like, that's the things. These are the things that are going to change, because they're going to have to pay to outsource those jobs outside. So you're going to want to hire Americans. That's going to create more jobs, which is going to create more money flow into the economy, which is going to continue to bring down the inflation. Guys, like these are things that are going to happen. We need to start being America first, making the products in the United States, making the jobs in the United States. That's the whole point, guys. And this is just a Band-Aid. I don't think these tariffs are going to last forever, but this is just something. This is going to get people off their asses, get the companies back to manufacturing here in the United States, creating jobs, and it's going to force countries like Mexico and Canada to get off their ass. That's the truth.
How about the way the cartel runs Mexico?
Oh,
and there
my
are
gosh.
actual death camps in Mexico, and you'll never see it on the news.
Yeah, let's show the
Never.
death camps. Clip 25, Yabui. Let's show these death camps. These are just unbelievable. The images of these death camps that the cartels are running.
Presley's so funny. He said, "Eat the rich."
Oh, well, of course, that's the line right there. Look at these camps that they got going on.
It's like a
here.
concentration camp
It
with
is.
all the shoes.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
It's like those were all people when they got there. The only thing that's left are bones and shoes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But
And
the
this
cartels
is from
are
the
nasty.
cartel.
But that's why we made them a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
It's because of things like that. The United States needs to step in and get involved and end this war on drugs.
Well, we have to, because the Mexican government is so corrupt and they answer to the drug cartels.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And the thing is that we have our own little cartel in the government right now, but thanks to Doge, we're starting to expose some of the things that are going on.
That's right.
However, Doge has become a dirty word in this country. But it wasn't long ago that the Democrats were all about cutting spending.
That's true.
Do you have that video?
I do, yes.
All right.
Clip 15. Clip 15. We got that one.
Not keep our promises on Medicare. We simply must make the cuts in waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare so that the benefits and the premiums are untouched. We owe it to our seniors. We owe it to our country.
There is an enormous amount of waste and fraud and abuse in this government. When there is waste and fraud, you have an administration who should also be on top of that situation.
If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. And
that's coming from the Palestinian.
I can't even look at that demon. I had to look away because I'm like, I cannot even look at Chuck Schumer right now. He's such a demon. And that Bernie was Bernie from 2008 before he became a millionaire.
That's right.
That was before Bernie got paid off. You know, when he
Yeah.
still had some integrity. But the thing is that, you know how a lot of people suffer from TDS?
Yep.
Well, there are a lot of Americans now that are catching EDS.
Tons
Elon
of
derangement
tons
syndrome.
of EDS.
It's crazy.
It is.
We
got a
have
couple
to
of them.
show the video of the liberal threatening Tesla owners.
Absolutely. Let's go clip 6.
Need to sell your Tesla. I'm not going to warn you again. Okay? Those of us
I'm not
in
going
the
to warn you
resistance
again. The
are not going to
resistance.
stand for these hate mobiles
Hate-mobile.
driving around providing free advertising for the man who has subverted our democracy and spread disinformation and hate speech and supported the fascist takeover of our government, and who has taken the food from the mouths of millions of people around the world by destroying U.S. aid, and has betrayed Vladimir Zelensky.
Betrayed?
That is how serious this
Elon.
is. And you continue to pre-order these Teslas. You continue to drive and charge these cars that are making this man, Elon Musk, more and more powerful, infinitely powerful. That is not okay.
I thought we wanted to
What
charge
an
the cars. I want to be right. Didn't I
my
think the
gosh.
Democrats wanted the electric cars, to save the environment because that was the big thing,
Listen, before, you don't care about the planet if you're driving a big SUV, a gas-guzzling SUV. You
Yeah,
don't care about the
exactly.
future. You don't care about your kids. You don't care about the planet. What is wrong with you? You need to get an electric car, 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 okay? I mean, you couldn't get away from it. You have to go buy an electric car if you're going to be a good American.
Yeah.
Now, the freaking bipolar liberal is like, it's a hate mobile, it's a hate mobile, it's a hate mobile. They're going to be so happy with me and my
fucking
gas
crazy.
guzzler. I don't
For
know what all
real.
those poor Tesla. Well, let's show what happens in New York City if you're driving a Tesla
All right,
now.
let's go clip 17.
Rip the environment. Look.
Chase him.
He almost ran right into a police
He
car.
would have ran right. That would have been the best part of the video if he just flatlined into the car. But I mean, look what they did to this Tesla dealership. Let's go right into 18 right here. They destroyed this dealership. And there's very few of these dealerships around. But look,
Well,
I mean,
in
look at this.
Manhattan especially.
Not another billionaire!
Look at this guy.
Oh my God, I love the dead body. Just limp. Oh, they're saying we need clean air?
We need clean air.
All right,
not
let's
another
pause. Let's
billionaire.
pause right there. We need clean air? The
need
whole
clean air,
point
not
of the
another
Tesla
billionaire.
was to create fumes from the car. That was the whole point, was to create clean air. That's why he made it. That was the point.
This
of
is
the car.
why I say liberalism is a mental disorder. I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people get mad at me, and I did. I'm not using foul language, but I will say, guys, you have a mental disorder. You have derangement syndrome. There is something going on that you are not thinking clear
Now
in your head.
We're back to the divisiveness. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not trying, but I'm just saying, like, come on, you gotta wake up.
I mean, it's true. It really is just 100% true. And I don't get it because they flip the story. They flip the script. 1 minute, you're the devil because you're driving a car that you got to go fill up at the gas pump. But then now it's like, well, I drive a clean, efficient energy car, the best of its kind.
Listen,
You're an asshole.
Carlos, Elon never expected any of this.
Yeah.
There is no way that he expected all the crap that he's getting right now. Let's show the interview with him, with the guy on Fox.
Yes, let's show that interview.
That is a really good interview because you literally could see it in his face a little bit. He's like, what the hell did I get myself into?
He's
Because
definitely
he loves
feeling it
the
a little
country.
bit.
He's a patriot. And he saw what made him step up is when he saw when Trump got shot in the head. And he was like, Trump took a bullet for this country. I need to step up too.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the government bureaucracy never, ever imagined a genius would be coming in to start doing an audit on our economy, which is what he's doing.
Let's go. Shots fired at Tesla dealer. Clip 3.
Shots were fired at a Tesla dealership in Oregon. Various nonviolent...
Shots fired, not a metaphor.
Not a metaphor.
Fired, yes. Downtown New York, marching against the Tesla showroom. Your stock is way down. You've been criticized left and right.
But look on the right side.
I mean, why
Always
this?
Always look on the bright side of life.
Yes. I'm an optimist.
I'm an optimist.
But besides that,
yes. I mean,
how's your day?
How's your day? I love that. Besides that, how's your day? I mean, because I think he is becoming uncomfortable. And not for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Elon is an absolute genius, but he is a little on the autistic side.
He said it.
And you could tell, you could see in his face that he's becoming a little uncomfortable with the hate and with the threats against his life. And I'm sure he's worried about his kids. I'm sure he's got a lot of things going on in his mind, but he knows he's like, I'm trying to do for the greater good, right? To do, to get this done for the country. But I mean, it's just these Democrats are like you said, they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed into these violent, and half the time they don't even know what's actually going on.
Well, the problem is that he's auditing the government. And Act Blue is responsible for a lot of this.
Oh, that's your boy, O'Keefe.
So this is part of the problem, is that you have people investigating and auditing, and eventually they're going to find who's getting all these cash payouts.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an act of desperation. That's why Chuck Schumer is like, shut down the government, shut down the government, shut it down, because he doesn't want them to find what's going on.
Yeah.
So let's show James O'Keefe, #1 best undercover sleuth.
Invited to his 40th birthday party.
I was
You were
invited, and I
invited.
didn't go
Did
because
get
I
an
had to
invitation.
play. But let's go to the video of him exposing Act Blue.
All right, let's do it. Clip 2.0, please.
FEC data shows that some senior citizens across the U.S. have been donating thousands of times per year. Some of these individuals' names and addresses are attached to over $200,000 in contributions. We went and knocked on a few of their doors to corroborate the data that we received. We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme. Cindy No of Annapolis, Maryland, who in the year 2022 allegedly contributed over 1,000 times to Act Blue, totaling $18,849.77.
Wow.
That means Cindy would have had to donate 3 times a day, every day for the whole year. My name's James O'Keefe, and we're doing a story on the number of people that have donated. You did donate to Act Blue, right?
Once in a while.
What about $18,850?
No, I don't think so.
You know people are using your address?
I don't think so.
People using
Ma, don't talk to him. He's a bad guy. That's James O'Keefe, Ma. No, I didn't. Ma, shut up. You're going to expose his money laundering.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, it's really just just people. Some people are just like stupid almost.
Well,
I mean, they really
she
are
doesn't
just
even
dumb.
know. Like, she
Yeah.
put in her ID.
Right.
She probably made a $10 donation,
Mhm.
and they said, "Okay, so now that we have that lady in the system,
Yep.
we have a bunch of money coming in from another organization.
Right.
So how do we'll say that she's
the one donating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it keeps going because it's all money laundering.
Mhm.
And you know what's another huge money laundering place?
Oh, your
It's the
favorite place in
Department
the
of
whole wide world.
Education.
That's your favorite place.
Let
You
me
love
tell
the
you.
Department of Education.
Well, let's show the video. There's a video of a congresswoman talking to a man, explaining to him how
Yes.
the Department of Education works.
Okay, 2.1, please.
Is the Doge program targeted at these bureaucrats?
Yes.
And so what can you expect?
Well, let's look at the Department of Education. The federal Department of Education has a budget of about $280 billion a year. Less than 25% goes to educating our students. So where does the other $220 billion go? It goes to a bureaucracy. It goes to a consultant. And that consultant then donates money back to the Democrats. And then it goes to a different consultant. And then it goes to an NGO. And then it goes to, it is money laundering and money churning at its absolute best. And you can look at almost every single agency and you will find it. So the brilliance of Doge isn't that he's going in and cutting spending. He doesn't have the authority to do that. We're the ones that have the authority to do that. What I want him to do is come up with a report, go through agency by agency by agency, identify every single program that we should not be funding, put a number attached to it. We slap a preamble on the front of that report, and we say that every single agency is having their budget cut by X amount as shown in the attached report, and none of those programs can go forward from here on out.
Well said. But that's exactly what he's doing. He is finding and exposing the lies and where the money is actually going. And that's what's freaking them out. Hand up. Listen, you told me last night USAID was burning documents at the stake.
Yeah.
And I thought, no way. Like, they can't be doing that. I was hand up. I was completely wrong. They are literally running and burning documents and destroying evidence because the lies are being exposed. It's all coming out, and they are really shitting their pants.
They are terrified. That's why they have to shut down the government. They are terrified because the party is over.
Well, you know what's going to be the best?
What?
When they try to shut down the government, and then they shut it down, and then Doge keeps going because Doge technically has not been brought in as the government. So they can continue
It's an agency. It was an Obama agency.
But Congress never passed it.
Oh,
so because Congress never passed it as a federal like it can continue its work without the government needing to shut down. And that's why that's one of their things that they've been protesting, saying, well, they're not officially, Congress never made it, and he shouldn't be at the cabinet meetings, like things like that. That's what they've been protesting. So theoretically, if they shut down the government, he should still be able to continue his work because, like I said, he's not officially enrolled in the government.
Well, God willing, he could continue his work because those people are going to try to kill him.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I
Absolutely.
mean, he's thinking shit. Sorry, I used the S word.
Whoa,
but you know that he's thinking.
whoa, holy.
You know, he's a little scared because he's like, I really admire Trump for taking a bullet, but that doesn't mean I want to take one. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But what it makes me so angry, Carlos, is that I feel that money should be going to teachers, not to all these NGOs and these bureaucracies. It should be going to the quality teachers that are out there.
Yes.
Because we should have excellent teachers in this country. We have brilliant minds in this country.
We do.
But let's show the video where Kevin O'Leary talks about how the teachers, who prevents them from getting paid what they should.
Let's do it. Clip 20, please.
All right.
The education system for 14 years. There's 110,000 high schools in America. The majority of them are in New York, Florida, Texas, and California. Our reading and math scores are the worst in the G7 and the G20 in terms of how many dollars we spend to advance our children. Why? Unions. Unions that keep mediocre teachers in place in every high school in America when we should be firing them. You want to talk about whack as our theme tonight's show? I would like to fire teachers that don't... Wait. And I'd like to pay a lot more to the teachers that advance math and reading scores that push our system forward against every G7, G20 country. We have broken the system long ago through unions, and this is very unpopular.
But what are those cuts actually?
What it means is
the
lowest paid person in America that deserves a lot more money is a great teacher.
I agree.
And we can't, in the system of unions in America, we keep mediocrity festering, destroying the education of children.
100%. Well, 100% right. You need some incentive when you privatize and you work for a private company, and people in the public sector won't get this, but people who've worked in the private sector do, like you and I, and self-employed people, you people who own their own businesses like you, Bowie. You have to work. And the better job you do, the more money you make. They'll promote you. They say, hey, we can put more responsibility on this person. This person does a good job. You get promoted, you make more money, you move up.
Well, Carlos, you don't know. I grew up in New York City where the teachers union is strong. They used to have what was called a rubber room for the teachers who were so bad that they weren't even allowed near students, that they had to go every day to this rubber room to report in, and they got a full teacher salary for doing absolutely nothing.
Unbelievable.
And that was because the union protected them. We need to start being a meritocracy again, even in the classrooms. And we also need to start rewarding good teachers. And we need 100%. To incentivize the brightest minds to come back to teaching.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're going to pay them a shitty salary and abuse them and then say, hey, but you get the summers off, guess what happens? You don't really get, a lot of times, the best quality of teachers. Listen, I have 4 kids. I had good teachers. I had bad teachers.
Yeah.
Not all teachers are created equal, and some of them needed to be fired.
100%.
Some of them showing up to school in freaking yoga pants, not even doing their hair and makeup, looking like a slob all the time. What kind of example are you setting for your students? Right, I go to Ferry Pass. Let me tell you, man, those teachers look good.
They do look good.
All those teachers are so very professional there.
There's a couple teachers.
I remember President. What?
A couple teachers at Ferry Pass.
No, most of I have to say 90% of them are really
fired.
Are really good. I like them a lot, and they really care about the students.
Yeah.
But I know, especially when I was in Connecticut, there were some
100%.
lazy teachers there. And I don't care. They don't like it, but I say the truth.
Right.
And I was always on the PTA because I wanted to partner with the teachers and try to make the community the best it could be.
Yeah.
And there were some teachers who were so fantastic that make such an impact on your kid. Like it changes their life. So we need to start bringing good teachers back and pay
100%.
them a nice living wage.
Well, like to your point, I mean, there are young teachers now coming out of school. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for one of my good friends, he's coming out of school. He's going to be a teacher, and he has to work 2 jobs to make a good income. If you're a great teacher and you have kids who are having a lot of success and are doing great and are moving up and are getting great test scores, you should be able to work that teaching job and be fine and be making great money where you don't need to go and bust your ass at night, work at a second job. You should be like, yeah, I'm a great teacher. My students are great. The school is giving me more responsibility. They're moving me up. I'm teaching higher grades. That's the things that should happen if you do a great job.
My father was a teacher, and he always worked 2 jobs.
Yeah.
He was a teacher during the day, and he moved furniture at night. And every weekend, we used to go with him to work because every weekend there was no, oh, you get to go do activities, kids. I'm off this weekend. It was like, no, you're the supporting cast member, Generation X. You go with your parents and help them while they're at their second job on the weekends.
Yeah.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
We did not have it good the way that the other generations had it. But anyway, the good news is that I don't know if it's really good news yet, but there's a ceasefire going on in Ukraine, right? With Ukraine and Russia.
Well, yeah.
What happened now?
Well, did you see what happened this morning?
Oh, with Russia attacking Ukraine the last
just
minute?
burying them at that,
Well,
saying what's good.
Let's see what happens because I don't trust Zelensky. But
don't trust
let's see
Zelensky.
what happens. God willing that there's a ceasefire there.
Yep.
But I just want to bring all the attention to all the Christians who are being murdered right now in Syria.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, show the video of them being treated poorly in Syria right now.
Clip 22. Let's show it. Yeah, this is just appalling, to be honest.
They're treating them like dogs. You hear that?
Yeah. I mean, just look at that. And not for nothing, right? Not for nothing. But this shit wasn't going on with Assad is fighting ISIS. You know, this was not going on. And you could say what you will about Assad, but this is bullshit. What's happening right now in Syria, where you have and the media, again, another example. The media will not tell you a single
They're not gonna say
thing
anything
about what's going on to those Christians over there. You know how many millions back in 2014 when you put your first and only bumper sticker on your car? How many Christians were being murdered in Iraq and Afghanistan?
A ton.
Getting slaughtered,
A ton.
and you would never have any idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, not for nothing, right? The Jews are getting a lot of shit, but the Christians are consistently in this world, consistently slaughtered, consistently killed left and right for being believers in Jesus Christ, and it gets no attention whatsoever. Zero attention from the world news.
Well, Carlos, show the picture of President Ahmed al-Sharaa. Remember him? We talked about him earlier.
Yes. We did talk about that.
Well, remember we showed him when he was on the terrorist list, and then we showed him later the cleaned up version with the coughed beard.
Yep.
And do you have it? Or
Hold on. I got it.
Well, anyway, when this guy took office, right? Remember he said, I will address the Syrians as a servant, not a ruler. The political process in Syria requires everyone's participation without exclusion. Remember, he was the softer, nicer version of the terrorist that he used to be.
Google Drive. Yeah. No, I mean, he was supposed to be the change
Right.
from Assad.
So this is the guy that, let's be honest, the U.S. government and the Israelis put in there.
Well, the U.S. government did put him in there.
Former,
That's
the
truth.
USAID, the
That's the
former
truth.
terrorists, they made this guy president.
Yeah.
And he pretended, and he was on CNN, like they were talking about him all the time. Well, anyway, we don't have the picture. But the Russians, the evil Russian people,
Yep.
where they're helping thousands of refugees in Syria right now,
They
okay?
are. Yep. We have that video.
So do you want to show
Yeah.
that?
Clip 21, please. Of the Russians making camps.
That's a Russian refugee camp.
Yep.
It's called the Russian Ark, and it's housing thousands of Syrian refugees. And the Syrian authorities tried to go in there and have a problem with them because they said, listen, these people, they really love it in Syria. Let us have them back. And the Russians are like, you're not getting them back.
Yeah.
And the Israeli channels warn that the Islamists may attempt to storm the base.
Well, that's not going to end up very well for them, I think. And listen, not for nothing, right? Putin gets a lot of crap, but Putin, first and foremost, is a Christian man.
Yes.
He's a Christian man, first and
Absolutely.
foremost. And Putin doesn't put up with that bullshit. He does not put up with that bullshit. I mean, I don't know how many people remember. I mean, that 2014 Sochi Olympics, that was a very Christian-based opening ceremony.
Yes,
Tons of Christian messaging. When that plane crash happened, they put the cross right in the ground. Like, he's always been very Christian valued.
Well, according to former President Bill Clinton, he's a man of his word.
He's a man of
Remember,
his word.
we showed that video last week.
Absolutely.
So let's show a video this week of him and former President George W. Bush.
Right, best friends, George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Let's go clip 26.
The minute goes to the captain of
Very thoughtful of you. Do I trust him? Yeah, I trust him. Do I like everything he says? No. And I suspect he doesn't like everything I say.
Dancing together.
Look at them hanging out.
I found it to be very straightforward and trustworthy. I was able to get a sense of his soul. I wouldn't have invited him to my ranch if I didn't trust him. I think whoever the president is going to find out that Putin will push and push and push until somebody stands up to him.
So is Trump putting Putin in the Tesla and driving around in the Tesla the way that Bush put Putin in the truck with
President
him?
Bush.
Right, so they say that Trump is a Russian agent. But let's see, we had former Bill Clinton, nice words to say about Putin.
Yep.
Former President George W. Bush, nice words to say about Putin.
Yep.
So they're allowed to hang out with Putin, but now with President Trump, oh, you can't trust this guy. We need to put NATO in Ukraine.
Right.
Like, it is such a debacle.
I mean,
what's
they tried to
going
say
on.
Trump and Putin were best friends.
Putin's not my best friend.
That's,
Remember
yeah,
the debate?
they were best friends, and it seems like Putin's got a lot of friends that are U.S. presidents. Clearly, I mean, Putin gets a bad rap, but for one thing, I will say, and we said it, Putin. I have yet to see a time where Putin has completely, and to be honest, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but has completely just gone off the rails and been completely unjust. Like this Ukraine war, I can't say that it's unjust. I cannot say that it's unjust because
we started
when you
it
put
in
that
2014.
when you put NATO right on your doorstep, 100 miles, I would be a little upset when that happens.
Yeah.
I'd be a little upset when you kill the president who wants to work with Russia. You murder him and put this puppet in Zelensky. I'd be a little upset.
Well, not only that, but they were working on peace negotiations.
Yeah.
They were. And Putin said, listen, you just have to promise not to put NATO in Ukraine.
Yep.
And that
What did
was
we
his
do?
red line.
What do we do?
And that's what well, no, we aren't putting NATO in Ukraine, but that's what Zelensky wants because he wants to see young American people dying for Ukraine. And that's not going to happen while President Trump is in office.
Well, one thing that I saw that you had sent me that I thought was really interesting was the fact that Ukraine, now that the war is starting to kind of diminish, is that they're starting to sell weapons off to different groups.
Diminish. They've been doing that the whole time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, now it seems like it's almost like a fire sale a little bit.
Well, Carlos, let me tell you, the Ukrainians are the most corrupt one of
Country.
the most corrupt countries
Yeah.
in the whole world.
Yeah.
So we were sending them weapons and they were selling those weapons to the drug cartels.
Yeah. To
And-
use against us in the war
Yeah.
on drugs.
I mean,
It's
you know,
really disgusting.
How else are they going to get their hands on stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, Fredo and Tucker Carlson were going at it a little bit
wanna
on the
show
show.
the video of them?
Yeah, let's throw that video. I thought this was a pretty interesting video, 32.
The Ukrainian military has sold those weapons on the black market around the world. These are facts. They've wound up in the hands of, among others, the Mexican drug cartels, the Taliban, Hamas in Gaza. Fact. And so this is a big deal, and I don't know why people feel like they have to lie about it. I know someone who bought some of the weapons.
I don't know that it's about lying about it. I don't agree that those are facts.
You believe the most corrupt country in Europe, which is so corrupt that NATO didn't want it as a member. You believe it's outside the realm of possibility that facing defeat, the leaders of that military would not sell the weapons that they're getting from the West?
You cannot substantiate a claim on the basis of mere suspicion. Are you texting while I'm having a conversation with you?
I'm texting right now.
Very
with someone.
rude.
No,
Very
I'm texting
rude.
on WhatsApp right now on this exact subject.
because he was trying to get in the
Right, he
proof.
was getting
Because
the
Chris
proof.
Cuomo has his head in the sand.
He does.
He was the
He's
same
always said.
person telling everybody to take the COVID shot, and now he's a COVID victim.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, oh, I have, what is it called?
Long COVID?
No, he has when you took the vaccine and now you're sick. Like he has the side effects, but there's like a term for it.
I don't know what the COVID
A victim
term is.
or, I don't know. But bottom line is Chris Cuomo pressured everybody on CNN to go get the vaccine, and now he has a side effect, a permanent disability from the vaccine or whatever.
Mr. Fredo. That's him.
He's such a big pain in the neck.
He is a big pain in the neck. But
Carlos, I didn't even take the vaccine.
You did not?
But I still have some embarrassing things that happen.
Oh,
so
boy.
you have to show the video from the ring.
Yes, absolutely. No, but this is we definitely need to show this video. It is hold on. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Clip 29, please. This is funny. Oh.
God. I just fell. Yeah. I am so done. Just drive over me, world. Just run me over, world.
And there's Dad coming to help me out. And his Axe Retreat shirt.
It is actually his blue polo, blue mighty polo. Yeah, listen, I mean, I feel that woman sometimes. It's just like, just fucking run me over, please.
I know. It's just, she was probably running to go to the bathroom or something, and then she just spilled out.
I love she made the same noise that you make. Feels down. This is a classic. Just right down. It's true. That's how it is sometimes, man. I mean, that's probably how the Democrats feel right about now. Just run me over. I can't take it anymore. He wins every day.
Well, I got to say, those are the things that have to bring us together, where we can have a good laugh about situations that go on, because we all sometimes take a fall.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect. We all have embarrassing moments.
100%.
And, let's try to get together as a country, and hopefully we can start getting along again and make America great again.
I mean, that's it. We need to make America great. And people, guys, it's not some foreign, or MAGA concept where it's like all MAGA Republicans. Like, we want to make everybody great. Mm-hmm. Republican, Democrat, Independent, we want us all to be great together and have success together and be united as a country together. That's the whole point. That's the reason for the statement. That's the whole purpose of the statement. Please understand that, for Christ's sake. You're killing me, fellas. But Coach, another listen, it was an interesting episode, to say the least.
Yes.
It was quite the build up to the episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I hope you did. I hope you guys, enjoy watching the dysfunction sometimes of the show, and we appreciate you guys watching. 71 live viewers right now on X, guys. We appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with us, guys. Make sure, if you guys are watching right now, make sure you guys are following us. Follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Truth Social. We're on X. We're everywhere, guys. Make sure you guys are going and following our platforms. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, make the right play, find us on YouTube, subscribe, like, share. Go to Rumble, guys. Hit that follow button on Rumble. All you Rumble people, make sure you guys are hitting the follow button there. Hit that hit that follow button, hit that share button. We love getting to see you guys and hanging out with you guys. We want you guys more in the chat. Feel free to join the show. We send the links in the chat. We want to hear from you guys. We appreciate all you guys tuning in and hanging out with us. Coach, you got any final words for the crowd here?
The only thing that I want to say is I remember this is a season of Lent, so it's time to do some reflection and pray, and let us all try to encourage each other to turn our hearts and minds back to God.
Hearts and minds back to God.
That is how we are going to unite as a country. And I love you guys, and I hope you have a great week.
Very, very well said. Very well said, guys. Make sure, like the coach said, Lenten season. Let's follow God. Let's get back on the right track here. Okay, everybody. See you guys next time on the next episode of Make the Right Play. As always, guys, stay thirsty, my friends. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Thanks, your buoy.
Shout out your buoy.